I really I don't have a prompt for this. It's like anything Disney you want to talk about, as long as it's animated, we can talk about it. So, anyone want to throw something out? Anyone want to get started?
What's everyone's favorite?
I have a list of 10.
Yeah.
I couldn't choose.
So from the top, it's Mulan. It'll be my all-time favorite. But when Tangled came out, that became not my favorite, but it's very, very close to Mulan.
Yeah, Tangled's in my top 5. Yeah. I kind of made my list, and I realized I kind of made it based on era of Disney films. So out of the very silver the very beginning age of Disney is Pinocchio, because Pinocchio holds a special place in my heart because we had it on VHS when I was little and we watched it constantly.
I think in that sense mine would have to be Sleeping Beauty, because I remember the exact day I watched that for the first time. This is when we were still living in my first house I ever lived in, and I had a room downstairs to myself finally after living in an attic space with my sister. And so I just sat down on this beanbag chair I had, and I sat and watched all these VHS tapes that my sister had. And so Sleeping Beauty was one of them, and then I just watched it that whole day.
Yeah. There was always because Pinocchio was the one we watched over and over for a really long time, and then the other one was Aladdin, because me and Katie loved to just recite Robin Williams his lines, and so we knew the movie by heart, and we just we'd recite the genie's lines along with the movie, and my parents were sick of it. They didn't want to watch Aladdin for the longest time because we would never shut up about it. So
I think my all-time favorite would be Emperor's New Groove. I just like the.
Okay.
I think it's hilarious.
Underappreciated movie right there.
It is. It really is.
And then my second all-time favorite would be The Rescue. Well, it's two combined. I think I was with you, Megan, when I bought it from Slackers. As The Rescuers and The Rescuers
Down Under.
Yes.
Yes.
They're so good.
Which one do you think's better? The first one or the sequel? I think the sequel's better.
I like Down Under better.
Yeah, Down Under.
Because I saw, when I was little, it was a really weird thing. I ended up seeing a lot of Disney sequels before I saw the original films. Because I saw Rescuers Down Under before I saw the original Rescuers. I saw the Peter Pan sequel before I saw Peter Pan. And then,
I keep forgetting there's a Peter Pan sequel.
It's actually legit pretty good.
It is really good.
I know, I just keep forgetting that there is one.
And then I've seen The Fox and the Hound too, and to this day I have yet to see The Fox and the Hound. I have never watched it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it, Megan. You'll cry. I mean, I'm crying.
You know me though. I love the movies with that.
The connection between the two is very
very little. I recognize that. I know what happens in The Fox and the Hound. I've just never sat down and watched it. And then okay, let me see. But yeah, so Pinocchio is the really, really old Disney for me. And then you get into the 50s and 60s, I have Peter Pan. I put my top 5 in terms of what movie, if someone asked me, hey, you want to watch this movie at any time, if I'm anytime, and I'd be yes, I want to watch that movie. Any movie I'd be willing to watch the most and rewatch the most is kind of how I put that in. So Peter Pan for the 50s, 60s, 70s Disney, and then for Renaissance Disney I put Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yes, I will watch Hunchback every day of my life.
Yes, I love that.
I thought them doing that in the 90s, just doing that story in general, was the most ballsy move Disney ever made. Because it's
probably one of the most darkest films they ever made.
Yeah. And it's
well, until you see Fantasia.
Fantasia's, yeah.
Yeah, Fantasia.
I remember watching that in theaters. Oh, and
Oh
Tarzan.
God, Tracy, I forget that you're that old.
I am
That's
that old.
literally the year I was born.
I know, it's kind of amazing. I was just like,
Fantasia
oh my God.
2000 is the year I was born, and that's the one that I like grew up watching.
Yeah, they had Fantasia the original, and they had Fantasia 2000.
2000.
I remember
I
seeing
I
Fantasia
haven't seen
2000 on the
Fantasia.
TV.
I've seen parts of Fantasia 2000s, like certain segments, but I have seen all of the original Fantasia.
I haven't seen that in forever. Oh my God.
I only watched it once because it's a beautiful film visually and obviously musically, but like also like it's a slog through. Like you have to
Yes.
want to watch Fantasia
Yeah.
if you want to sit down and watch it, because otherwise it's like, okay, I'm just listening to Beethoven
No,
right
see,
now. And
Fantasia is something that you can literally put on in the background and do something else.
but at the same time, what's the
Yeah.
point of putting the movie on if you can just listen to classical music?
Because
What's the
then
point of
you
putting
can
the-
look up at some points and see these awesome.
Yeah, but what's the point if you don't see the whole thing?
Well, I mean, like you don't have to like be doing something super intensive where you're
Yeah.
like you can't, but like maybe you're cleaning the house or something, or like
Yeah.
Yeah, Megan, I have ADD. I can do both.
drawing, or I don't know.
I don't know, I just like the music and the story that it tells in Fantasia, like the different ones,
Mhm.
especially.
Chernabog.
Night on Bald Mountain's the best one. Everyone agrees on that. It's
Yes.
Night on Bald Mountain and then The Sorcerer's Apprentice. Those are the
Yeah,
two
The
things
Sorcerer's
people watch
Apprentice.
Fantasia for.
Yes.
I always have like
I'm gonna have
a
to find that
mental
on TV
trip
now.
with it was like a connection between Fantasia and what they did in Winnie Pooh, like the movie, the elephants, and like
Oh yeah.
I always fucking tripped out on both.
I haven't seen
remember-
either Winnie the Pooh movie, so
Oh my God, you have no.
I saw like all the
Megan,
TV
we're-
shows and stuff, but I never saw the
Megan.
movies
Okay, well, there's this part in the first Winnie Pooh movie. Then
with like heffalumps and stuff.
yes, and he eats all
Yeah,
the
the
honey and he
Heffalumps
goes to
and
bed and he has a tummy ache and he's just like has this nightmare of freaky ass
Heffalumps and
heffalumps.
woozles.
I hate that part so
I do
much.
too.
As a child, it freaks me out. As an
Okay,
adult, it freaks me
wait,
out.
wait,
Also, Winnie Pooh had a gun.
Okay, so wait. The pink elephant scene in Dumbo, where he's drunk. Did that
Yeah,
scare you
that's
as a kid,
nightmare.
or did it like
Nightmare stuff.
fascinate you? Because when I was a kid,
Yes.
like it didn't necessarily scare me, but I'm
It-
like, what's happening?
I remember
It,
like
it freaked
two
me out. I
parts
did not
of
like
Dumbo.
it. I did not like it at all.
I have not seen it since I was a child, and I literally remember two parts. One is where he's taken away, or he goes and sees his mom, and the other one's where he has to fall on the fireman thing. Like they have the not the trampoline,
Oh.
but
Oh, the clowns.
Where he has to
Yeah.
like jump in the fire or something.
yeah, whatever that scene is. It's the
Right.
only two parts I
We're
remember.
talking about songs that freak us out. I know it's not Disney, but if anyone watched Ferngully,
I have not
Oh
seen it.
yes.
Toxic
I
Love
love
Okay.
is like that song will get me every single time. Like of all the villain songs, I can't do that one.
Which one?
That one, yeah.
Love?
Patty Rap one was fun though. I like
Which
the
one?
Patty Rap.
Oh yeah, that
Ferngully.
was funny.
Love him. What?
Okay. Let me see. Oh, okay. And then early 2000s Disney, I have Brother Bear. Brother Bear is my
Bear was
favorite.
so good.
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
underrated movie.
It's just, oh my god, it's such a
Going
beautiful
back to
film.
when
And
Disney
Phil
used to bring
Collins.
stuff like
Phil Collins does the soundtrack. You know it's gonna be
Phil
good.
Collins was amazing.
Yes.
And
When
then
I was staying with my grandma, I went to like this summer Bible school type thing, and I remember we watched Tarzan all the time.
mhm.
And so like I can like every time I watch Tarzan I can like quote everything.
I think Meet the Robinsons is another one that I like.
I've only seen that like once or twice.
I
It doesn't
love that
do much
movie.
for me, if I'm being completely honest. I don't know.
It's more like a very light. If you want like a really light-hearted,
Yeah, like
kooky sort of laugh.
like
Yeah.
vanilla.
I don't know.
I do love the bowler hat guy. That's the one part of that movie I'm like, yes.
Okay,
Oh
but
yeah.
Disney made this story of this like kid who, he wasn't an orphan, but I mean he was living at this orphanage, and yet they still were able to make this finding a family, and that's such like a big thing
But it
for them to touch upon.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
since you see the scene where his mom leaves him at the orphanage.
Yeah, I think it was nice that they had a Disney orphan, because obviously almost every single Disney main character is an orphan, but they showed it to where it's not because his parents died, and they like touch upon it. It's like your mother gave you up because she loved you so much, because she knew she couldn't take care of you, so she left you with us. And
Mhm.
that's like such like a good message, especially for like any kids that are adopted and have gone through that. So I do like the message of the story. It's just like overall, I'm just like, it's okay. It's a good movie.
I don't know if Spirit is Disney, but that was one of my
DreamWorks.
favorites.
I
It's
have
DreamWorks,
not
but it
seen
was a good
Spirit
one.
ever, and I
I
own it.
actually
I
still
love
have
the
the
soundtrack.
CD.
I love the story.
Yeah, I actually have the CD, the soundtrack CD still.
I
It's a
do
bomb
too.
ass soundtrack.
Oh, I have it. I don't have the soundtrack. I would like it. And then they made like this new cartoon over it where he's in like modern day and belongs to some
Yes.
chick in like a saddle club, and I'm like, that's completely not correct.
Listen,
They're
I
making
saw
a
that.
movie
I was
based
like,
on that show.
no,
They're making a movie
what?
based on that show.
Oh
No, please no.
that's
Yeah,
not
that's
the point
I
of the
hate it. Every time I
movie.
see like merchandise for it, I just want to like.
it's the
ugh.
Old West.
It's Old West.
It's
The
the
whole
Old
point is like,
West.
in the end, he goes wild. Like he doesn't get tamed.
Did you know?
Yeah.
Did you know that horse is played by Matt Damon? Did you know that?
Yes, I
No,
did.
I didn't know that.
It is
Matt Damon voices so many people that you would not think, and then you
Bless
read
Matt
the
Damon.
credits and you're like, Matt Damon.
It's kind of like the fact that Matt Damon is the dad in Ponyo. He's the little boy's dad in Ponyo, but he has like 6 lines. So it's like, why did you get Matt Damon for this tiny ass role? It makes no sense.
Just to say they got Matt Damon in their movie.
Well, they are. Ponyo is such like I don't know why, but I looked it up the other day. But Ponyo has such like a star-studded cast, more than like any other Ghibli film I ever saw, because Liam Neeson's in it, and Kate Blanchett, and Betty White, and Tina Fey, and all this other stuff. Close the door. What are you doing?
Are you okay?
What do you want?
There's a child.
Nothing.
Wait, you got another tiger?
Yeah, that's my tiger. Okay.
That's the best entertainment I've had all week.
Okay. You mentioned Enchanted, Amber, so you want to talk
Yes,
about Enchanted?
the children reminded me of Enchanted.
Why?
I don't know, just because, like, I don't know. It just popped up in my head once, like, the children started messing with everything, because, like, she was just like, what's this? What is that? What's this?
Oh my god. Do any
But
of you?
Enchanted was a good movie.
I think Enchanted is such an underrated movie. I think it's
It
so
is.
good.
Just because, like, it's live action, like one of, like, like the live action, but it's original story. Like, I just feel like it's shoved to the back because Disney's like, animation this, animation that.
Well, now
Yeah.
they're doing like live action this and live action that.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, actually, brings up a good thing. Is there any of the live action films that you guys actually like or don't like hate?
Maleficent, that's pretty much it.
I didn't hate the Lion King one. My biggest
Yeah.
grievance against it was the Be Prepared, which I understand that
Yeah.
the Nazi march at the end had to be taken out, but like we could have given more than a slight chant to one of the best villain songs
Yeah.
in like, Disney history, and he just kind of spoke it. That was my
Yeah.
only grievance. So
Yeah.
otherwise, I really liked it. I thought it was done pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I do have to say, like, The Lion King is probably the best of the live action, which is saying something.
I haven't seen the Lion King one.
Me neither.
It was pretty good. I just recently also watched the Lady and Tramp one.
I have
I haven't
not
seen that one either.
Really
I haven't
good.
seen that one.
I was a little weary of it because I'm like, it went straight to
You
Disney
have to watch
Plus,
it on-
so I'm like, wow.
Yeah, and we just
Well,
got Disney Plus
everything has to go straight to something now because
I know, but it went straight to Disney Plus before all this happened.
I mean, they're
Yeah,
probably
no,
just
it
like,
went.
I
It was
actually-
like there was no time.
I actually like
was-
the live action. Sorry, Carrie. Go ahead.
It was good. It stuck pretty close. Of course, they changed the Siamese cats because that song was kind of horrible.
Yeah.
And they kind of
yeah.
messed with. Uh, they kind of messed with Tramp's character, and
Like, they
kind of
made
just
him,
made
like-
him more of a jerk. Which I was like,
Oh.
that's.
They
he
made
was
him
supposed to be
more
really
of a jerk.
charming. Like that was his whole personality.
gross.
But they made him kind of jerky, and I was like, that's not how he was.
No.
He was
not.
endearingly scruffy.
Yes,
We'll
he's
say
supposed
that.
to be
Like,
a tramp, not
yeah.
a jerk.
Exactly.
Okay, Tracy, which one
He
were
was
you gonna
supposed to
say?
be like very charming, and like that's why in the end she finds out that he's like a womanizer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I really like. There's two of them. I like Aladdin.
I did like the Aladdin one. I know a lot of people.
I didn't.
I've
See,
not
I-
watched it yet.
Yeah, me
I
neither.
found
I
parts
loved
of it
it, though.
okay, but I did not like it overall.
Yeah, here's what I like about the live action Aladdin. Because I will admit it has problems. I'm not gonna deny that. It does. But what I like about it is that they do, like, it follows the original plot, but it does original stuff with it.
Yeah,
Because I like the fact that Jasmine
Yeah,
is
that's
with
what
Aladdin
Lion
during
King
One
did,
Jump Ahead.
too.
I think that was really cool. And then, like, Naomi Scott as Jasmine is just A+. Love
Yes.
her. And I don't know. The production design is beautiful, and like most of the songs are okay. Like I don't think anybody in Aladdin in the live action Aladdin is like a god awful singer. Like, and I don't know. I just like I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
I like the aesthetic, like appeal to it because they
I have
actually
not watched it. I need to.
aesthetic
You
is-
should. I really recommend because it has like a really Bollywood feel to it, and I really
Yes.
appreciate that.
I do have Speechless on my musicals playlist, so
Speechless is lit.
Yes.
Oh,
you
Yes.
know what? That's because it's Naomi Scott, and whatever she sings is just A+.
no, literally, Naomi Scott singing A Whole New World in the trailer was what got me interested in the movie. Because originally, I'm like, I don't want to see a live action Aladdin, and then there's like a
That
whole
was
new
me
world
too.
of her with her singing,
I got chills.
and I'm like, I need to
Yes.
see this movie now, please.
So
I was
like
ready.
my mom and I went to see it, and my sister was mad at us because we didn't invite her.
Katie
Yeah.
didn't want to. Katie didn't want to go see it. She hasn't seen it to this day.
I was
And
gonna
then-
say with my mom. Apparently, her work took a day off just so they could see that movie. So she saw
That's
it without
great.
me.
She's on with you.
I love that. No, and then I feel like no one talks about it anymore because there's so many now. But it was one of the first ones. I actually really like the live action Cinderella.
I did not see it.
I really like it. It is a pretty. It is a solid movie. Like, because it was one of the because Maleficent I think was the first one, and then they did Cinderella, and it's really good. Like Lily James is beautiful and she's amazing, and like it's the same thing. Just like the production, like the effort that goes into the production, and like the little tweaks they made to the story, I really like. And
I
just,
think my favorite Cinderella will forever be Muppet Cinderella. Listen, that was actually really good.
And
Or you
another
know,
one.
Cinderella 3.
Yeah, another.
Cinderella 3's best one.
Yes.
Best one.
So it's not from an anime, but like it's from a book. Another Disney movie that I like. It's live action, obviously. Is Tuck Everlasting. That one
Oh, Tuck, the DVD I gave you.
I know about it, but I've never seen it.
I had to read Tuck Everlasting in like 7th grade.
Hey, same.
I remember my
Yeah.
teacher. Yeah, my teacher actually read it to us when we were like in 4th or 5th grade or something like that, and I fell in love with it. And then it came out in theaters, and then I finally got to see it after.
Yeah.
Mine.
I haven't read it since. I read it that one time in school, and I haven't read it since. But I feel like if I read it now, I'd be like, this is a little creepy. Just a little bit.
Just a little
Just a
bit.
little
not
bit.
just a
Especially
little
in the movie
bit.
that they aged her up significantly.
Yeah, in the movie, yeah, they did.
My age too. I know very little about the movie.
Like
I
in the
know
book,
of
she's like 13.
Yeah.
And they're all
Ooh.
like immortal, and like the boys that are her love interest, they're like 16, 17.
17.
But in the movie, they aged her up to where they look the same age.
Same. Yeah. But I still love it, even though it's a little creepy. But still love it.
I don't know why, because that is a live action Disney movie. It just reminded me of the one where it's a Disney original where the dude turns into a fish when he turned 13.
The 13th year.
13th year, yes.
13th year. I love that. Oh, okay. Do you guys have any favorite songs? Favorite Disney songs?
You have to be more specific. Favorite Disney villain
Yeah.
songs or
Oh,
We could start with villain songs. What's your favorite villain song? We'll go with that.
Be prepared.
Be
It's
prepared.
one of my favorites. I'm
Yeah.
basic like that.
I love Mother Gothels.
Mother Knows
Mother
Best.
Knows Best is really
Yes.
Mother Knows Best is a good one.
I love Friends on the Other Side from Princess and
Yes,
the Frog.
that's good
I
too.
love
I
that.
love
I've actually never seen that yet.
Tracy! How have you
I'm
not
gonna
seen
just
Princess and
sit
the
down and
Frog?
see it.
I
Oh,
love how we're talking about Disney and literally a commercial on TV is for Disney Emoji Blitz.
no, Princess and the Frog is
Fine.
because Princess and the Frog came out the same year Tangled did. So Tangled completely
That's
I'm
probably
not saying
yeah.
Tangled didn't deserve the attention it got, because it does. But everyone kind of forgets about Princess and the Frog because it came out the exact same year. And it was 2D animation as opposed to 3D animation.
That Tangled was actually my first 3D movie and also like the first and only movie my sister and I ever went to together.
Fun story. I saw Tangled in theaters for my friend Maria's birthday, and she took the entire class, our entire, I'm going to say 5th grade class, and we all went, and we were the only people in that theater. I think it had been out for a while by that point, and we all went in, and my friend Peyton was on crutches, and Maria's mom, like, she was like staying behind to like pay for all the tickets. She told us to go on in. And she's like, now girls, behave yourselves. Just sit in your lines and like be really respectful or whatever. And of course we're 5th graders. We didn't. And Peyton is like running with her crutches all the way like in front of the screen and being really stupid. And she drops her crutches and she's like, I can walk, and then proceeds to fall flat on her face.
Oh.
The best thing I'd ever seen in my life. So that's the memory I have of Tangled. And I remember because it's not a villain song, but I See the Light is one of
saying 7 minutes left.
Yeah, I know. We'll start a new call after this. And I'll send you guys the link. But I See the Light is one of my favorite Disney songs ever. It still is. And I was like mesmerized by that scene in the theater. It was so beautiful. I loved it so much.
That one's really pretty and cool.
Mm-hmm. Also, Zachary Levi and Mandy Moore.
Yes!
At my heart.
Zachary Levi. He was so great in that movie.
He's my favorite Disney prince too.
Mhm.
So
Obviously.
One of my favorites, and also that still gives me chills to this day, is God Help the Outcast from
Oh,
that's on my
that
list.
one's a
That's on my
good-
list. Yeah.
and also I'll Make a Man Out of You.
Yes. Also on my list.
Mulan has
The
really
best
good
part about that
soundtrack.
is that I love the fact that they made Mulan, and Reflection is obviously supposed to be the big number of the movie because it's Mulan solo, and it is a big song in the movie, but everyone always loves I'll Make a Man Out of You better. And I think that's very
Dang,
funny.
man. We all loved Shane.
It's because of Shang. That's all it
I
is.
love Shane.
We watched it. I went to this oh my gosh, I used to go to all these like church camps and stuff because my grandma's a huge church nut, and so is my dad. So they used to send me to these church camps all the time. Well, this one was actually like I went and stayed there for like a month. And so, but one of the nights we got a free night, like we didn't have to go and do anything that was already set up. And so they're like, what do you girls want to do? And we're like, we want to watch a movie, because we had to be separated from girls and boys because it was church camp.
It was
of
church
course.
camp. Yep.
And so we're like, we want to watch a movie. And so this girl's like, okay, well, I have Disney movies and that's about it. And I was just like, Mulan! And so we watched Mulan in this cramped cabin, just like we all had like little snacks, and we had blankets and pillows we would sit on and stuff. It was like the arts and crafts cabin, and so we all crammed in there and put a projector up, and we watched Mulan, and everyone sang "I Will Make a Man Out of You," and
I love that.
Yeah.
No, but when I was in middle school, we took a field trip to Busch Stadium in St. Louis. And I can't remember what we did there. We didn't go to a game. I think we just went for like a tour of Busch Stadium. But on the way there, we took like a really nice bus because I went to private school, so we didn't have actual school buses. So they rented a bus.
Same.
And it was the kind of bus that had like video screens. And so we just watched Mulan on the way to Busch Stadium. And it was something. And then we all tried to sing along to the songs, and then the teachers told us to shut up. So
That's hilarious.
Hey y'all, I look like shit. That's okay. First off, thank you for watching. Secondly, I know a lot of people have been wondering what's happening with reaction videos. Those reaction videos with the group proper will not start up again until the school year starts. Thankfully, our college is doing in-person classes for the fall semester currently, so we'll all be back together again in August or September to get you guys some reaction vids. Until then, we're just trying to fill the channel with as much content as we can so we aren't leaving you guys with nothing. We're going to try to do some reaction vids on our own, do some little extra stuff like these discussions. We're hoping to do more of these. Hopefully you guys are liking them. Until then, thank you for being patient with us. I hope everyone's staying safe and healthy. And yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.